Hello, everybody. Is there anybody out there? Hello there, Willie Catcher and Denise the blonde rocker. Yeah, Tammy worked pretty hard on that building. So hello to everybody. Welcome to Hodges Live After Dark. Hey there, Cajun Mom. And hello there, Miss Baby. How's everybody doing tonight? I got on here a little bit earlier, y'all. Didn't have as much to do today as I have been doing. Yeah, you did finally get on here. Hey there, Miss Lori. Looks like that everybody that wanted to find me pretty well found me on this Danny S. Hodges. I went in there today and changed the trailers on Tammy's channel. And I've been meaning to do it, and I've been going to do it for a pretty good while. And that's where when you go to somebody's channel, a video starts automatically playing. I think it does. It's been a long time since I fooled with that, but I also seen you can change a handle. See, when Tammy is under her name, under Tammy and Danny Hodges, that's not her handle, see. Her handles, I think, is Danny Stephen Hodges. She don't like that either. I ain't got the cobwebs cleaned out yet, Joe. Oh, I did as I was going to tell y'all, kind of wait a few people get in here. I just got off the phone with a woman. Hey there, beer ass. She's telling me a bunch of stuff. She's a nice lady. She, talking about YouTube, but like not about us, but about other channels and stuff. She likes to learn about it, even though she don't. She just likes to know just to know. She's one of them kind of people like me that like to know. And Steven still ain't been on YouTube, y'all. Oh, I'm glad that all the women he bothered so bad, they can go on with their life now. Hey there, Miss Linda. You know what I'm talking about? They can go on with their life and quit lagging around, hanging around. I bet every one of them over there on the double T watching. Every one of them. Hey there, Charles. Yeah, I got on here a little bit earlier tonight. Let's see what that name is there. Clinton? Who else is still using the Ultimate TV antenna in 226? Hey, I got a double up, Clinton. It's still working good. You know, Clinton, one of the reasons that I started kind of got discouraged about the antenna stuff, you won't never believe it. But I would show the antenna scan on the TV and show the channels, and they was hitting me up for copyright. And I mean, I could have appealed it and won probably. I mean, I'm sure I could have. But I mean, the big people, they own everything. One, two, or three people like owns television. And they know to go look at your channel. They say, yep, there he is showing the price is right. I mean, they don't care, Oh, hey, Kathy. Kathy, I have been thinking about you. I don't think I ain't. I have. I sure have. Let me see kind of the next thing. I mean, because I wasn't going to harp about the women, One lady, she's want me to get on the double T. She said, I got a lot to offer. In other words, she said, I got a lot to offer. She said, I'm a lot smarter than the other people on there. Hey there, Daniel. The antenna man, Dan. Yeah. So I'm glad y'all fellas is coming in here. We need some men on the channel. We got a bunch of women, but we need some men on the channel. Yeah, it's nice to know somebody's thinking about you, Kathy. I started to text you today and see how you was doing, but I really did. Really did. But I think I know. Kathy. I think I know exactly how you're doing. Debbie O'Neill, I got you out of the trash can. Out of the trash bin. Don't mess it up. Wild women's not going to run this channel. I'm just telling you like it is. Y'all on, put another video up for Tammy today. And, just like the others, I mean, it's real good, the marks on it's real good, real good. good enough to be on somebody's channel that's got 1 million subscribers. And what I want to let y'all know is we got, she started getting a lot of comments about that, that keto diet, and everybody's all over the place about it, But a good many of the people agree about the amount of carbs, And she don't know if she heard the doctor wrong. She ain't worried about it. She's done gone to bed, but she ain't worried about it, y'all. But here's what, you like that? Here's what she's gonna do, and she told y'all about it, but she's got the wrong channel, So I'm gonna get her to do a live on her channel and bring everybody together in one place. Said she was gonna do one on my channel, certain ideas, but she actually needs to do that on her channel. And see what everybody's saying. Because no matter how smart we are, or how smart the doctor is, everybody together knows more. What's that show where they used to? No, she didn't finish it. What's that show where they used to ask the audience and they was never wrong? I used to kind of like that show. It's too bad you can't ask the audience every time. You can only ask the audience one time, Hey there, Miss Pamela. Tammy done gone to bed. A little bit of that illness might have struck. She was ill a little bit. Hey there, Tina. Hey, she wasn't ill bad, but she was ill a little bit. Deal or no deal? Is that what it was? Deal or no deal? I didn't think that was it. I didn't think deal or no deal was it. I got some crazy stuff I'm going to tell y'all about too. Y'all ain't never heard me talking about no crazy stuff. Yeah, that's it. Who wants to be a millionaire? See, Clinton's got an antenna, see. I got to find out exactly where I was at. Because I was fit to tell y'all something, and then I took a leapfrog jump. Let's see. Let me see what it was. Hey, I don't remember. I might have to tell y'all about the crazy stuff first. And then I'll say, oh yeah. I remember what I was saying. I remember what I was fitting to say now. Oh, Tammy made that video, the one that she's got today. She made the video, and I've told her exactly what to do. But y'all, there is a lot. You're doing them kind of videos. There's a lot on the tip of your mind. And I reckon, hell, it is about impossible to remember everything. I actually can. I actually can. Because I mean, I've done so many of them kind of videos. Yeah, Tammy's gonna do a live on her channel about the keto diet and let everybody have an input on it. I don't know if she's read the comments or not, but I read enough, that know that everybody's got a real big input, about it. And that's what I say, y'all know everybody in a whole, like two heads is better than one. I promise you it is. I bet I can make Tammy a list and she wouldn't even read it. But here's what happened, y'all. I got some mics. I got two different sets of mics. I use these mics that I've got now when I'm doing this. Tammy don't hardly use these mics that much. Oh, they're kind of big, You've probably seen them. I mean, I know you've seen them. But then we got some DJI mics that's little. And that's what she likes to use. And the cameras, they got microphones. They got built-in microphones, and they pretty good. But when you moving around and stuff, if you're just standing in front of the camera, hell, you don't even need a microphone. But she's not never just standing in front of the camera. Never. Except she's sitting at the kitchen table. But when you plug them mics into that camera, it makes a little line up there. And it's kind of like a volume line, but it's moving up and down with them. When you got them mics connected, you know it. Because you'll see that line. Now, I caught hell with that video she put on there today now. Because the mics wasn't working. And, she had a mic over there at the stove. It was chiming in, boy. And let me explain it to you. If you got a mic hooked up, it don't matter where you walk. But for some reason or another, it wasn't working. I don't know what she doing. But it wasn't working. You could hear that meat over there cooking. Oh, nearby, coming in with her voice because the mic was so close. She didn't have the mics hooked up. And I was trying to tell her about that, I said, always look, and you see is that little line modulating? And I know she didn't. I'm telling you, it caused me a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. The editing is on point, yeah. Hey, that's one of the things like I can do, like I can roofing. Oh, Kathy. The the editing is just like, I mean, I know what I'm doing. Just to be honest with you. But I was trying to tell her about it, and she got ill about it. And then she was trying to read, and I was listening to something on YouTube. She asked me would I put the earphones on. I didn't say, I just put them on. But and I mean, everybody agrees on this right here. It'll make you ill. But like, that ought to be pretty easy for Tammy. Oh, she don't eat much to start with. But like me, I don't eat as much as I used to, yo. I used to that plate of grits that she made me. I used to would eat that whole plate easy, easy, boy. I could eat that whole plate easy. Even whenever I was in school. When I was in school, I ate 2 lunches every day. And them women knew, them women that worked at the school, the lunchroom women, they knew I wasn't just showing off. They knew I ate a lot. And they'd put more on my plate, than they would everybody else's. But I kind of want to see her do that live myself. But we're gonna get around to it. But I'm just letting y'all know she is aware of all the comments. Peter said, Palm Beach Peter, y'all, he said he left in the comments he was a doctor's assistant. I told him, I said, I didn't know doctors had an assistant. She said, yeah, they do. And anyway, I would have never figured him for a doctor's assistant. But like, you don't know. You don't know. They call them nurses. Well, he must be a nurse. Tammy's daddy was a nurse. Oh, anyway, y'all can look for that. And no, she ain't through with the building. There's a bunch of stuff sitting there in the yard that she's gonna throw away. And I was gonna tell y'all what I built that building for. And I put it on the line, that building. Me and my brother, he was living over here next door. And I was living right here. I just went down there in the woods. I just went down there in the woods and kind of found a flat spot. And I built that building on the line. And I guess Mama was looking a little more forward than I was, you know. She said, "You built that building on the line." And she's planning on Cody getting that land, you know. I think. I think. And, I mean, I can't move it. I said, "Well, hell, I just have to give the building to him." And I would, though. I wasn't standing there and arguing about it and all that. I would just give it to him. Hell, he could put his stuff in there. It's 3 rooms. That's a big building. She never did show the other room. Dina come in here one time, you know, before we had all that stuff in there. See a bunch of that stuff Stephen took out of his camper. And, you know, I was like talking about, why the hell did y'all set everything at the door? And I didn't even notice then, but she told me it was dark when they was doing it. And they was in a hurry. Hey, it was built for a storage building. Oh, here's what I built it for, y'all. You know how you got something in the house that's a little too good to throw away? I said, well, what I'll do is I'll build us a building, and something that's too good to throw away, we just put it down in the building. And it didn't have very much in it for a long time. That on mattress and all that stuff. You know, the girl that Steve used to go with, or the girl that he really liked, you know, she put a bunch of stuff in that building. And she left this world, you know. I I got a little story I told about it. I think it's on Tammy's channel. And I called up the girl's mama. I said, you know, that's some nice stuff down there. Your daughter put in that building. And that was a nice little cot, you know. Real nice little cot. That, I mean, you'd pay some money for if you were to buy one. Woman said she wanted it, but they never come got it. You know, the girl's mother. But anyway, that's what that thing started out, you know, that it was just somewhere to. She'd take the Christmas tree and put the Christmas tree down there. She didn't take the Christmas tree down, she'd just take it down there. That's what that building started out being. Well, I wouldn't want to be doing what she's doing down there. Doing all that stuff. And then a lot of it really ain't no good, you know. And she actually thinks I forgot about that stuff, but I hadn't forgot. She was talking about a box of letters she wasn't talking about letters that you see in somebody. It was alphabet letters. I know y'all probably thought it was, writing letters, but it wasn't. Because I was watching, in the house, I was watching. But anyway, it's just a bunch of letters. And I don't, well, I know what I done with them, but I bought a pretty good bit, because there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. At the time, at the time I was doing all that, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Because I used to be doing something every day. Every day. Go to Home Depot that morning. And a lot of times I would go that afternoon. So you'd be ready to go. The next morning, you ain't get strung out. Steven, y'all, he thinks different than I do. He bring that dump trailer home full of shingles and not take it to the dump at the end of the day. He just bring it home. And then first thing, you got a dump truck full of shingles that you got to go do something with before you can even go start on a house. But he'd do it. But I would want everything ready the next morning where I didn't have to go do this and do that before I could just simply go to work. But he did, and he didn't, and he didn't think very much about it. I was always plugging tires. I'd go out there and get my stuff ready, like almost every day, I'd go out there and kind of straighten the truck up. Always hauling some shingles off. Oh, I might go do a repair job, wouldn't even have the dump trailer with me, and have like a few shingles on the back of the truck. But I just, that's like what I was talking about the home store. I would like to have everything ready the day before, where I ain't have to do nothing but what I wanted to do. But y'all, doing this YouTube stuff so much, it's inside my head. It's inside my head when I'm sleeping. And it's kind of annoying. And it ain't what I'm thinking about doing or nothing like that. I'm like kind of dreaming I'm live and go to sleep with the mic on. And then different stuff. And that's, that ain't every night, but that's kind of regular. Always kind of the same thing. Kind of hard to explain, but it's it's a little bit annoying. And, I mean, during the day, I mean, I don't think about YouTube and stuff. Not like what you might would think. You need that building for crafting. It's a good one. Hey, that's a good building. It's got yeah, it's kind of hard to do when you like can't control your mind. But that building's got styrofoam on the inside, y'all, so it don't heat up. Because there ain't no insulation. The styrofoam is the insulation. Oh, it's actually pretty good. There's a bunch of table space. It's amazing how you can fill that up over the years. But I mean, well, yeah, I seen them two ammo boxes down there. They full of shells. That I forgot about. Well, I mean, I ain't forgot about them. I just ain't thought about them. 'Cause I ain't been in that building in I don't know how long. It's got a glass door on it, like you see in people's houses. A glass door. You got a front door and then you got a glass door. That's what it's got. But see, it's got some bars too. Like you can shut them bars. You can walk up to it and open the door, and then the bars has got a lock on it. Because I didn't know what was going to be in there. But like there ain't nothing in there, there ain't nothing in there that's valuable. Yeah, you can cut the lock, catch. But I'm glad she's doing that, y'all. Yeah, it's a pretty nice shed. I built that. Grandma helped me build it. She helped me put the roof on. A matter of fact, she's the one put the roof on. And I mean, y'all, so much stuff to do. And I miss having a crew of men. 'Cause it was easy then. I do miss having a crew of men. And it's kind of hard to get people. And young people, like, here's the difference between us and the people now, y'all. You know, your mom and daddy used to say, I don't care if you have to dig ditches, get a job. But me and my brother, you didn't have to tell us to get a job. But that's the way my mom and daddy thought. Get a job. And but the generation now, I mean, they want to know what you're gonna pay for them, and then you gotta bribe them. And then they don't give a damn if they just go sit home and play the Xbox. I mean, they're not really worried about money. Gadget, you want to get on here? You know what I mean? I mean, they're not worried about money. My God. When I was in the roofing business, I was at people's houses all the time. I mean, I was always at somebody's house. And the daughter would have a man that lived there with the mama and the daddy. Like that man, okay, catch. And that man wouldn't work. He didn't work. And I mean, they'd actually be pretty good fellows, but why did they need to work? Actually, the daughter might work. And I'm talking about, I ain't talking about old people. Hell, I'm talking about young people. And here's what I always said, John. And I believe this. There's usually one person got the money. And it really might not be a lot of money, but they are the money person in the family. And everybody feeds off of that one person. In other words, you give your daughter money. You give your daughter some of your money. Then she helps her youngins or her boyfriend. And that ain't the answer. Just give me some money. Ain't the answer. If you got somebody that's like a broke record, they always need money. What do you do about that? A broke record. And there's a plenty of them too. I bet ain't nobody in here got nothing like that. Hell yeah, they is. One person, one person living off to one person, and that person helping somebody else, and then that person's helping somebody else. It usually goes right on down the line to where the last person is getting the money. What they need to do is straighten up, is what they need to do. Always ain't got a job. They gonna get a job. And they gonna do wonders too. They gonna do this, they gonna do that, and by God, you see them a year later, and they still where they was standing 10 years ago. Just loan me some money. Don't nobody know nobody like that, do they? I want to sit here and tell you. I want you to hear me good. My two youngins, they stand on their own feet. My youngins ain't over here asking me for money once a damn week. They stand on their own. Me and Tammy stood on our own. We didn't do that great. But we was used to that kind of life. Eat egg sandwiches for a week or longer. Egg sandwiches. I remember one time we had a stove that had one burner. Only one burner worked. And we didn't think that much about it. We couldn't buy another. I mean, we just used that one burner. I think she had one of them electric frying pans. She cooked in that thing all the time. But we wasn't somebody that ran to our mom and daddy. Because they wasn't made out of money. And they say things were different when we were doing it. The cost of living is different now. Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I do think things is tougher. I do think that things is harder, but like what I noticed out of the young people is everybody wants to act like they rich. Everybody used to want to appear as rich. Well, I know somebody, they kin to me. I know somebody, their daughter's out a real damn nice house, real nice cars, and the air conditioning didn't work in the car. And I mean, it's July. They wanting the money, man, just like what I'm talking about. They wanted the money, man, to fix it for them. They asked him, hey, Jimmy, how you doing? And hello to anybody that I missed. life is tough, Now me, me and Tammy, what you have a big house, new cars, swimming pool in the backyard, and I know plenty of them kind of people, y'all. It might be important to them, but it's not important to me. This trailer here we live in, this double wide trailer, you could give us another house for half price. You could build a brand new house today, you can have it for half price. We don't want it. We don't want it. You know what I mean? If to give it to you half price, it's still like be $150,000. You think me and Tammy wants to go in debt for $150,000? Ain't just to look good. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And that kind of thing. Tammy's exactly like I am, y'all. She ain't no different. She's just happy as she could be. They lived in rental houses. You know, I mean, the whole time I known her, they lived in rental houses. Yeah, we did too one time, y'all. That's when we moved out here. We was in that rental house about a year. I started roofing and kind of, got to where I could rely on the money. I kind of tricked Grandma a little bit. But I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. So I'll tell you how I tricked her. But I didn't mean to trick her. Oh, we bought this mobile home. Me and Tammy bought this used mobile home. And Grandma's going to sign a note with us on that mobile home, which wasn't much money, y'all. It was $5,500. That mobile home was $5,500. But it was actually a pretty doggone good mobile home. Really, it was. It was a 14 wide. It wasn't no little 10 box mobile home. It was a 14 wide. It was about 80 foot long. I mean, it was a big one. And I told Grandma, I said, here's what we do. I said, when you go to the bank, I said, they gonna always tell you I can't give you that amount of money. I said, so let's ask for a little bit more to make sure we get the amount we need. And we did. And then her with perfect credit, you know. And, you know, we told the banker give us 8,500. Hell, he didn't even blink his eye. He gave her the 8,500. We looked at one another, and I didn't know y'all. So actually, I didn't mean to trick her, you know. And I said, well, ask for 85, maybe they'll give us enough to buy the trailer. But we, you know, they give us the 8,500. I paid all the payment, me and Tammy. We paid all the payments, what never no problem, you know. We took the extra money and dug a septic tank, and that, we had to get a bulldozer out here to clear the yard. Cause this place was growed up, man, like I mean, hell, it was woods, man. I had to buy a chainsaw. I mean, it was it was woods here. And I got out there and cut with a chainsaw and stuff. I called this man that I knew. I said, I want you to come over here and look at this. I said, you see how that end of the yard's high and this end of the yard's low and got all these stumps? Well, you can't cut so low with a chainsaw. I said, we need to like fix this place up. He said, Danny, I know what you're talking about. We need to balance it up. I said, yeah, balance it up. I don't know. I don't mean what I paid him, but that was all in that $8,500. We didn't ever miss a payment, you know. And we lived in that son of a gun a long time, boy. You know, didn't think nothing of it, you know. I mean, me and Tammy wasn't the high society people. We never was, and we still ain't. That truck I drive that red truck, y'all. Get $1,500 for it. But you know what? It paid for right then. $1,500, bam. You know, liability insurance. Wished I had a piece of land for my single wide. Lot rent is crazy high here now. I heard that the lot rent had done got kind of high. Hey, Miss Peggy. Miss Peggy's a pretty woman, y'all. My mother-in-law's lot rent keeps going up every year. Did you hear that, you know, that man in the new mayor? I don't know if he's the mayor yet or not, but he put a freeze on rent going up in New York. And I mean, I'm glad I don't live up there. You know, with no somebody like him running everything. I don't know what the world's gonna come to. But like where and nobody don't have to be like me and Tammy, y'all. There's a lot of people that ain't. But like it's all up to you, you know. If you happy with what you got, hey, that's good. If me and Tammy's happy with what we got, that's good too. Yeah. Yeah, you know them landlords, they don't like to fix nothing either. You know what I mean? It's hey, I ain't telling nobody how they ought to live. But me and Tammy like it the way we got it, you know. You cannot put a price on security. Hey, yeah. Well, Ilona done slipped in here. It's not the greatest here either. When you have uh fires and no water. Oh yeah, yeah, I got you there now. I actually finished reading it. Wipe my glasses off where I can see a little better. No, boy, I ain't telling nobody how to live. They say, well, some lady told me, you can't take it with you. Well, you can't spend every damn thing you got, neither. Because you gotta live. I remember this guy talked on the CB radio. Him and his wife had brand new cars, had a nice house in a nice neighborhood. He'd come home for dinner every day. He'd get on the CB for a minute. Say I'm eating my sandwich. Let me tell y'all something. I don't want to eat no sandwich every day. I don't mind eating a sandwich today. I don't mind eating the sandwich tomorrow. But don't bring me no sandwich every day. Every once in a while, you pick a ribeye steak up. Know what I mean? Every once in a while. And my daddy, y'all, and he lived too cheap. Hell, he was actually a little bit embarrassed. You know, them people's the one got the money, you know. Which me and my brother didn't get. I don't know how the hell they spent all that money that he had, but they did. Me and my brother didn't get it. Hey there, drummer. Drummer, you late. You're a moderator and you late. But good to see you, brother. Uh, Let me tell y'all about cheap. And I seen millionaires like this, y'all. Hell, they actually the worst, They actually the worst. Poor people, hell, they'll spend money because, they'll spend money. Oh, I mean, they used to be them poor and everything, but millionaires and people's got money. So let me just tell y'all. Uh, there was this man, he's kind of a cheapskate. My daddy was a cheapskate too. Now, he didn't agree with he's a cheapskate. He didn't agree with that. He said he was conservative or something like that. But to me, he was a cheapskate. Him and his man was going to go fishing. And they got in the truck. My daddy said, I furnish the gas and you buy the bait. That's what he told the other man. The other man said, hell no. I ain't going to buy the bait. I ain't going to buy all the bait. Probably would have been $3 or $4. They got in the truck and come back to the camp house where my daddy lived. And they was kind of arguing. They didn't even go fishing. I said, Bobby, you take your ass to the house and don't come back down here no more. I was down there, y'all. I always been somebody tell it like it is. I said, y'all two are ridiculous. Remind you of Fred Sanford and is, like one of his buddies. And my daddy was down there cooking pork chops. This same man, Bobby, my daddy was sitting over there playing cards. And this Bobby was going to start cooking the fish. I mean, the pork chops. And he done went over there cooking 30 minutes or so, something like that. He done been cooking long enough to have pork chops in the plate. And my daddy walked over there and there wasn't no damn pork chops. And my daddy wasn't stupid, y'all. He said, where's the pork chops? He went out there and looked in the truck. The man had the pork chops in the truck, gonna take it to his house and feed his wife and youngins and all that. When I talk about cheapskate, that's why I told him, leave and don't come back. Hey, I ain't talking about in the grocery store. That's probably a pretty good chance that y'all are not cheapskates. A cheapskate is a pretty hard word. And hell, my daddy had money. Man, he had money. He had money. But he lived like he was broke. And in my work in roofing, I worked for a lot of millionaires, y'all. I mean, you couldn't look at them and tell they was a millionaire. Matter of fact, they'll fool you, and they did fool me for a little while. But then I got to realizing, that just because somebody acts like they ain't got no money don't mean they ain't got none. And I was down there roofing the house. I was roofing this man's sister's house. She had a big old nice house. And he let me get back through, because they was out of town. It wasn't Dublin people. They lived in another town. And he's like waiting to see as I do a good job, see as I know what I was doing on his sister's house. He pulled up there one day in an old raggedy ass truck. He said, I got a house that's about 150 squares. I want you to come give me a price on it. I said, 150 squares? I said, you mean 1,500 square, don't you? He said, no, 150. And when I got down there, that joker had the biggest house you ever seen in your life. While I was there, hey, good night, Kathy. While I was there, I went out there and he had him a little shop. And he had this weed eater blade, a blade, not string. It's had a blade on the bottom like a lawnmower, except it's little. And he was welding more blades to the weed eater. He cut some blades off of something else. Hey, there you go, Lord. He cut some blades off of something else, was welding them to that weed eater blade. I said, hey, man, let's just go down there to the store and buy you another blade. For $8. But that's kind of when I started learning about different people and stuff. I thought people that had a suit and tie on in the beginning, nice clothes, suit and tie. A lot of them people, they can hardly even pay for their lunch. I mean, they do big talking, and they might be driving a brand new car and they might be living in Linda Vista, the richest part of town they was. Linda Vista. And he couldn't buy his lunch. Over there renting a big old damn house. He said, yeah, I live in Linda Vista. He was renting a house. You can't make out like you're rich and you renting a house. I ain't saying it's bad to rent a house. We rented houses. But I wasn't over there trying to act like I owned that house. There's a difference. So I told y'all the other night, there was this man that, this little crew of men that work. Sometimes they work for White Earth. And they supposed to go down there and fix grandma's stuff, but I mean, I don't know if they did or not. Ain't urban grandma, ain't urban them. but I know they was supposed to go yesterday. I don't know if they went or not. You understand? I don't know if they went. All right there in Las Vegas. Oh, I don't know if they pissed or not, but one of the men that this little crew of men work for owns 40 rental houses. And I know that man that owns the 40 rental houses. I know him. He's about a nut. He really is about a nut. I like to got into it with him a couple of times. He's a nut. And, you know, a lot of people's normal. Some people's a nut. He's a nut. He's a nut that's got money, you know. Matter of fact, I was out there roofing his house, and he called me out there. He had a tree to fall. He had his car under the shelter, and the limb poked a hole through the roof. And I seen the car under the carport, you know, under the shelter, but it was a long ways away. And we went to pull that limb out of there, and that thing like was hitting rafters on the way down and flipped over there and knocked the back window out of his car. He come out there mad as hell, boy. I went and knocked on the door. Said you might want to come out here and look at this, knock the wind out of your car. Like the way a man does. Some people will tear something up and they won't even tell you. And he went to acting crazy and all that. I said, look here, man. Hell, I'll pay for the window. You can't get mad, jump on me and everything, and then me pay for the window too. All I can do is pay for the window. I said, hell, man, I'll pay for it. That wasn't enough for him. He wanted to get on my ass, but he figured that might not be a good idea. But he filed it on his insurance, and I paid for it. He made money off of that window getting knocked out of that car. He made money. But I was thinking the other day, he's got 40 houses. And I was thinking, if he don't get about $500 per house, that's $20,000 a month. And did I say he was kind of a nut? You know, me and Tammy went out there to eat at the steakhouse. And we was waiting, you know, to eat. And there was this girl from school. She was the hostess, you know. I mean, we knew her from school, me and Tammy did. She was the hostess. And she was wild. And that man, the nut, he was he drove a jet. He was an army jet pilot, man, whatever, you know. And I remember seeing how stupid he was acting. Sitting there aggravating the hell out of that woman at work. Now, he wasn't waiting to go eat. He was just hanging around our work. He had a spring in his butt. And he'd jump up there and go say something to her and go sit back down. And, she wasn't a very good person. I mean, I knew her. She was wild as hell, boy. And, hey, he embarrassed me, boy. The way he was doing. And she was over there at that house. When she would stay there at that house. I'm just talking about somebody I worked for at Las Vegas. And you can always go back and watch, And she was somebody, she went after money. But when old handsome Danny pulled up in the yard, son, he was all over me. He said, I got caller ID. All the men was like stupid around me. All the men was stupid when I come on the scene. All the men was stupid. I said, yeah, you got caller ID? I said, well, they better not nobody be calling you because you'll know it, won't you? He don't know how stupid he was. And man, I had Tammy. I remember that girl at lunch. She'd be out there. You'll see her and a guy walking out there to the buses. To the back seat in the buses. That's the woman that's the woman that he was so crazy about. He didn't know all that. But I did. And he's sitting there telling me, I got a caller ID. Told my daddy that. And I mean, hell, he's stupid. I mean, he's really ignorant. But then when I was working for him, he tried to get me to come back and do more work for him, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't go back. There was quite a few of them people, that tried to get me back because I was the best, y'all. I mean, I was an expert. But I would, somebody like that, somebody just, people like him, I wouldn't go back and do work for him no more. I had all the work I could do anyway. He didn't have good sense. But then he was smart, too. He was also smart. He's dumb and smart. He thought just because I was good looking, I just liable to take his girlfriend. I wasn't there for somebody's girlfriend. I was making money. But that'd be pretty nice to have $20,000 a month coming in. And that's at $500 a house. And it probably more than that, it probably more than $500 a month. Whenever they said his name that day, I knew exactly who they was talking about. I said, hell yeah, he's a crook. That same girl, years later, that same girl he had in that house that he was acting like a nut over, me and my buddies went to a party and she was there. Done got married to another man. And see, I knowed her all her life. And I was about sober. I hadn't drank much. But my buddies had drank a pretty good bit. I told you how the girl was. I went in the bathroom. One of them was kissing her, and one of my buddies was kissing her in the bathroom. Later on, I seen somebody touching her several times. I seen that. And I was trying to get them to quit. But I couldn't make them quit. And that girl's husband finally seen one of them. He hit my buddy in the eye. And then guess who had to stand up and defend the buddy? That was in the wrong. But the problem wasn't my buddy. It's who he was with was the problem. And then later on down the line, she was with another man. I know this girl all throughout the years. She was with another man that played poker with us. He was always talking about her. I didn't ever say nothing. He was always talking. He was just crazy about her. She knew what she was doing, son. He's about 25 years older than her. Getting every damn penny he had. Hey, she wasn't, she was like your regular, woman, Las Vegas. She wasn't ugly, but she wasn't like no model or nothing. But she knew how to work men. And they are out there. Yeah, she took them all to the cleaners. I know another girl like that too. I don't know what happened to her. I always liked the girls like Tammy. That's I didn't know. Act like the Cocoa Puff bird when I seen a birdie woman or something. I still don't act like the Cocoa Puff bird. Don't I'm proud then I'm not no womanizer. And it ain't, I intend on, like, that's not my intentions. That's just how I am. Hey, now look here now. Hey, boy, I used to bring the women over here and have them up there dancing and having a party and everything, but that was it. So I am pretty normal. I like naked women just as much as, well, some people might like it more than me, but but I like naked women. There'd be something wrong with me if I didn't. And this is what I was kind of trying to tell y'all the other night. We talk the women into doing this and doing that. And they know we stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Hell, man, they know we stupid. And I mean, they just don't hardly think nothing about, they just don't hardly think nothing about it because they know we are stupid. Just like the man. No, I ain't call you. You know that, it all started with that man. Me and Tammy at the steakhouse watching them. That man was jumping up like worse than a schoolboy. Every little chance he got, he was up in that woman's face. Damn place full of people. Well, he's waiting in line. And I mean, I was thinking then, damn, Tammy, look at him. How stupid he is. And he thought me and my daddy was over there. We might get her. You couldn't have given her to me, boy. It might, you might could give her to me if it had $1 million attached to it, but I don't know if I'd get rid of Tammy for $1 million. But as far as just like, I ain't want her. I just realized what a fool he was. And I bet you he knows it now. Hey, y'all, I seen where you can change a handle today. And I'm thinking about changing Tammy's handle, just changing it to, because her handle is Danny Stephen Hodges. On that, Tammy Danny Hodges. Her handle is Danny Stephen Hodges. Everybody talking about, well, not everybody, but people talking about, well, don't you get your own channel? Hell, that is my channel. And I mean, I don't take orders all that good neither. He was jealous because he knew she was on the loose. Men always acting like that around me, Pamela. But I wasn't a threat. They just didn't know it. I wasn't a threat. I still ain't no threat. to one of my buddy's house when I pulled up. His girlfriend went and walked in the house, and he noticed it. He told me on the phone later, he said, Danny, when you pulled up, I told her, I said, you walked in the house. I said, oh, buddy, your old lady's been calling me for months. And she had. You know, they wasn't no bull going on. But the point was, is she already knew me very good. She knowed I ain't tried to get up with her. So I was talking to a woman the other night, There's somebody y'all probably don't know. But it is a YouTuber. And it's somebody I've talked to a few times over the years. I want to make that clear. Here's what she told me. She said, most men sooner or later, they gonna try you. She said, and I've talked to you while you was drunk. And she said, you never once said nothing out of the way to me. See, that's what the hell I'm trying to tell you. That ain't in me, y'all. Yeah, I'm thinking about changing. I just don't. You know, I know I can change at Las Vegas, but I don't know if I want to hurt the channel. I don't know if it'll hurt the channel. Used to, you just could do near about any little thing, and it hurts your channel. Uh, I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You just could have a video and change the title, and that would, I mean, that video, if it was getting views, it'd stop getting views. It ain't like that no more. You can change the title if you need to now, and it won't hurt you, now here's the thing about that. You liable to be, when you change the title, you liable to be named it something that's worse than what was named. But used to, like, about any little thing you do, it hurt your channel or that video. Like, I remember seeing a long time ago, y'all. And I didn't know if this man was lying or what. But I distinctly remember him saying he was getting 30,000 views a day, and he changed the title and he quit getting the 30,000 views a day. Now, I don't know if he'd be dumb enough to. I find it hard to believe he would be dumb enough to change the title to something that's getting 30,000 views a day. But he said he did. And like, let me tell y'all, you don't see Tammy's handle. The only time you see Tammy's handle is if she chats, which she very seldom does. You know, everybody thinks it's me, but like people that know me pretty good or know us pretty good, they realize that it's Tammy, you know. But it's just going under that handle, you know, Danny Stephen Hodges. Hell, I forgot that's what that handle was, you know, on Tammy's channel, Danny Stephen Hodges. But like I say, it was my channel, you know. Yeah, me and Tammy know what we want, y'all. We know what we want. I wouldn't want to mess up what I got, y'all. But if I was a dog, I probably would. Oh, y'all heard what I said, you know. The woman said, sooner or later, that man's going to try you. Your man friend. And you know, I'm talking to a bunch of experts here. Sooner or later, that man friend is going to try you. You know, this channel's coming along pretty good, y'all. I didn't think we would, you know, I mean, I thought we had 30, 40 people, you know. And I'll tell you something I thought that I was wrong about. Sometimes I'm wrong. Team is doing her lives on Southern Ideas now. It don't mean you won't never see me back on Southern Ideas, because I will. I'm telling you right now, I will. I don't care whether I do a video on Southern Ideas or whether I do it here. I don't care. Oh, the money goes right in Tammy's pocket. Uh, here's what I was wrong about. Like, see, I'm backtracking. I would have thought Tammy go live on Southern Ideas. Hey, people flock in there. But they don't. I don't know what you lay it to. What, she had about 120 people today, y'all? You know, who knows? You know, I mean, it might be something YouTube, you know. Who knows? But she'll be doing the videos on her channel, you know, like she's doing now. She'll be live on Southern Ideas when she feels like it. She don't have to do nothing. Nobody's making her do nothing. I woke up this morning. She told me, she says, I want you to help me a minute with this phone. And I did. She went right on out there and went live, you know, by herself. And I figured, you know, the people would want to go in there and watch. But I mean, I was wrong. You know, it may get better. And I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know if it's spiteful people. I don't know what it is. Where's all them 10,000 people that's watching Grandma? Oh, I don't know very much about it. This what I'm fitting to tell you now. I only know just a little bit because I didn't follow up on it. And hell, don't nothing surprise me. Uh, I think it was Slim, y'all. There was a comment. Slim seen the comment, I think it was, and said, don't open the door for even family. Like telling her not to open the door for even family. But like I say, that's really about all I know. I didn't say what, didn't, hell don't know nothing about it. Cause nothing don't surprise me no more. And I do know, and there's more than I thought, y'all. There's more than I would have thought. There's a good many spiteful people. Like I say, I don't understand, you know how much y'all love the lives, you know. I don't understand 120 people watching Tammy, you know. Only 120. Like I say, I don't Man, I don't know if it's YouTube or just people being spiteful. I really don't know. Maybe some of y'all might could tell me. I just don't, I don't know, I don't get it, I mean, she ain't gonna stop. Yeah, I mean, you know, me and Mama got mad. That's over. That's over with. You don't believe it's over with? Go look at how many views she got on the last video. All the good stuff is gone. All the drama. They are without God, says Cajun Mom. Yeah, I think the next video she's got is going to be telling that she's on Southern Ideas Live. I don't know. But I do know that people is funny. And I do know that it is very hard to get people to go to another channel. I do, I don't know what the damn problem is. But I know that because I've been doing this a long time. See, this is the channel I started on right here, yo. And I done this channel for a long time, and then I made Southern Ideas. And it took a while to get people to Southern Ideas. A while. And now it's got more subscribers than this channel here we own. Yeah, I don't know if that matters very much, Pam. In the end, I was thinking about yesterday. Now listen to this. You got people on YouTube that are basically telling you how to be successful. And they saying, do this to get 1,000 subscribers. Do this. If you get less than 100 views, do this. And you do that. Do this and do that. They could tell you, listen there, they could tell you in 15 minutes how to be successful. And then, you know what the problem be then though? They wouldn't ever have to make another video. So they go over there and I've done it myself, y'all. How to get more subscribers. And they telling you this bunch of bull. You ain't blocked Las Vegas. You know, they telling you to do this and do that. And the summer guns, like a couple of them, I know they know exactly what to do. They ain't telling you that. They telling you a bunch of little silly stuff. Because they know you don't know no better. And you trying to do what they say, do. Well, you chatting now, Las Vegas. You know, they say and do this, get more subscribers, you know. You know, the truth is, y'all, listen how long it takes me to tell you how to get more subscribers. It's simply asked. There ain't no secret trick to getting more subscribers. There ain't no secret. People will be sitting and watching, and you remind them, you know, hit the subscribe button. And I mean, they just sitting there, you know, like, you know, don't even think about it. You know, don't even think about it. They, you know, watching and all that, you know, I mean, they might have say, dang, I meant to subscribe. But if everyone watching is already subscribed, that's never the case, Pamela Bogus. That's never the case. Never. You know, when we start out a video, all of us, everybody, and everybody with a channel that's got a little bit of experience, they know this. Only 7%, it's around 7% of the people that come into your video, only about 7% get a notification. 7% get a notification. You know how sometimes you don't get a notification? The rest of the people just happen to run across your video. That's the reason, a lot of times, that's the reason you'll see people come in late and stuff. Hell, they didn't get no notification. And I mean, I know what I'm talking about. I see it, you know, all the time. Well, I could do one 20-minute video that you could take that video and put on your favorites, that you would never have to watch another video about how to make it on YouTube. You would never have to watch another, you wouldn't have to waste your time go there watching somebody that says how to get 1,000 subscribers, and they talking about something over there, the man in the moon, for 15 or 20 minutes. And then they finally get around to tell you something that don't work. There ain't no secret. And you know what? I've told y'all so much that I'm tired of telling. 'Cause nobody don't do it anyway. Yeah, I want to make $2,000 a month, but I want to do it the way I want to do it. No. Uh, you can do it the way you want to do it. But if it's best if you do it the way YouTube wants you to do it, then you might get your picture on the cover of a Rolling Stone. And only then, when you do it the way YouTube wants you to do it. I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all. I want to thank y'all for everything. I want to thank y'all for making the Danny S. Hodges channel a worthwhile channel. I'll be on here, y'all. I'll still be on Southern Ideas. Tammy will be on there. I'll be on there. Tammy will be on there. I mean, y'all know. Y'all people that watch regular, y'all know. And I want to thank everybody for everything. You up late? Hey, I stay up late there, Danny. Self, how you doing, man? So that's y'all. That's a Danny S. Hodges subscriber there, y'all. Hey, Danny, I get on here. Hear about every night. I got this channel called Southern Ideas. I'll be on there some too. Hey, thank you, Lona. And let me give you one final piece of advice about YouTube. I hear you, man. If it was easy, there'd be more than 3 million people in the YouTube Partner Program. If it was easy. You understand? Thank God for everything. Good night, y'all. Bye, 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 bye.